Hi. Okay, number 4 in this challenge. Today has been a long day. I'm really tired. Been dealing with the wind and smoke in the chimney and my puppy. And he got into something he wasn't supposed to eat today, so that was stressful. And then I brushed him out. If I knew how to turn the camera around, I'd show him to you. He's really cute. And now I'm super sore from my neck and back. But I couldn't really come up with a thing today, and I was trying to think about the challenge itself. You know, what would be the intention of having a channel, or why am I doing this? And really from the basic, it's who I am. And I really want to be able to offer the things that I've learned and the places I've been and the experiences I've had, so that I could help other people navigate things that they possibly, didn't expect. And most of the things that happen when we're in a crisis, we don't expect. And even, this is part of my process. I was thinking how when I coach somebody, or when I, help somebody through something, taking action is the hardest thing when you're stuck or when you've been through trauma. And I'm speaking from that place right now. So even speaking right now is huge because it's progress. I mentioned in my first video that I had been isolated for about the last 3.5 years. I do have a neighbor I see occasionally that was a partner. It's a situationship at this point, which has been like that now for a while, but there's pretty much no contact or anything. So it's still very isolating. And then it adds another element of weird, basically, to the whole situation. And I'm starting completely over from this point. Not sure where I'm going to go or what I'm going to do, but I know it'll be me wherever that is. And hopefully a lady and a dog, we'll figure it out. I'm envisioning a ranch, or, somewhere I can start a recovery center, and not for just addicts, or, basically life recovery. And, I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure I could say that there isn't anybody in this world right now that hasn't been touched by the last 4 years, or 5 years that we've all been going through a lot of things. And I know it upended my life and completely, everything kind of came to a halt, kind of went down the drain, if you will. And I'm kind of rebuilding my flow in a complete new way. And I don't know where that's going to be. But what's important is, why am I here? And I can tell you all kinds of stories and things that I've been through. And I'm appreciative that I have the words, because really I've been speaking again for about 6 months, just in talking to people, being able to speak. It was about 1.5 years that I couldn't speak. I couldn't talk without shaking or crying. My nervous system has been so deregulated that I'm just now getting it back to, which my dog is helping me a lot with that, and learning, how to control my anxiety and breathe, so that I can be a better guide for him and he can learn more from me. So we're teaching each other. But so I just wanted to also say that the reason I couldn't speak is I had no language for what I was experiencing. There was no words. And all I was just, complete shutdown, emotional, mental, to the point to where I became so physically ill that I couldn't walk for the first, 3 months of this year because of the pain. And so I'm working through all of that, and, just making huge steps, but it's taken a while. So I wanted to read a couple of the things that, I just made a couple bullet points, so I'd try to stay on task for the video, and to really share why I'm here and what this means to me. It means to me an avenue to create a community where people can come together, or I could share with you or be there to talk to you with, the vast experience in life that I've had and training. And, it'd be great to have a barter system, like I give you an hour of my time, you might offer something or have something of that's valuable to an hour of my time, whatever price, or, what that would look like. But what I'm realizing is the value for anything is our time. And if we value our time and we realize how precious it is, when I share something or I help somebody with something, that to me, it has more value in it than, say, money. And when I was an esthetician, I used to trade a lot with my beautician and, different people like that. I've always loved to barter. I love to give something of myself and then return something of value that means something to you, that's special to give, because paper money and all that, I mean, yes, we need it, but it's just so special to be able to share what's valuable to you and it's received as valuable by another. So I want to bring value, and I I'm starting literally from, I don't practice these and I don't really know what I'm doing, but I do know that in my heart, I know that I want to be able to hold space and be able to do what I do for multiple people or whatever that would look like. So a couple of the bullet points I have is, to build a community, of a strong and independent thinkers, people that have the maturity or willing to look at the maturity, what it takes to be emotionally intelligent, to be able to be in acceptance of what is. The isness of our life is a lot of times bypassed with distractions and things like that. So bringing people in ourselves into what is, and then going from there and having a neutrality state to be able to build from, to create from, it's quite challenging. And we think we want the truth, or we think that we want, everything explained to us. But, you really have to prepare yourself when you want those things. You have to be ready to accept it. And it's okay as is, but what are you going to do? So what? What else? What are you going to do? So building a community of people that can communicate in that way and build up each other and inspire. I would love to be a great leader that can inspire many, and because that's what fills my heart. Speak to the brokenhearted. I love to use my sense of humor when I work and when I share with people, because it always makes things better. Because if we can't laugh at ourselves and at the situation, I mean, sometimes it's too soon. I agree, it's too soon. Sometimes you just can't get there, but eventually you do. I promise. Share experiences to inspire and strengthen others. I shared that. Talk to families and friends and communities about the experience of having a daughter that had an addiction for over 20 plus years. Started when she was 12. Then she was, raped by a dealer that was 55 and got him in prison for 6 years. They let him out, didn't tell us. It goes on and on. She was incarcerated over 31 times. In the meantime, I'm trying to get my life together and going through divorce, and it was just, never good timing to have a crisis. I'm just saying. And she was homeless. There was time I had to put her in a special school just to get her through school, which she got through. I mean, there's so many. I can go into so many things. I've experienced so many layers of this, visualizing, overdoses, and it's endless. And then I worked in that field as well. And that's a whole nother. I can speak to anybody on any side of the table about, these things and what it's like to go through it. I had 2 boys at the same time, a stepson and my son. My stepson was in Afghanistan in the Marines, and my son was in Iraq in the Army. They were both, in war at the same time while my daughter was on the streets in her addiction. And I'm trying to figure out, what am I going to do, right? Trying to keep my life together at the same time. And mind you, the challenger, the ninja, said everybody needs a cheerleader. And, I thought about that, and I've never really had one. So I've always had to do it myself and never really talked to anybody about what I was going through because I didn't have time, because I'm too busy and family's out of state. And, so I was kind of really isolated through my whole life, kind of going through all these things without knowing what it's like to have outside support. So knowing how important that is and how much value that gives and that we can't take it for granted if we have it. And if we don't have it, knowing when to ask, because that's the hardest part, because when you're in it, it's really hard to ask. It's really hard to say, I need help. It's really hard to say, who do I call? And I went through all these things in this last year and a half of my struggles of coming out of a lot of these things in my own way, with all my training and all the education and all the things that I know. It happens to all of us. And sometimes it's, you couldn't have imagined, X, Y, and Z happening all at once, or, and then. So it's okay, because it is what it is. So addiction, fentanyl, I hate that stuff. Body brokering, human trafficking, it all goes together in the little corrupt system that's out there that I've been privy to, that I wish I didn't know, but I do. And I'm a soul crusader, so I would go into those groups and I would tell those people, your soul is not for sale. And that's what I really fight for in all of the things, having what I've been through. I can share, I want to be able to do that. And I'm not sure how to get there from here. So if you watch this video and you have any suggestions, please share. And I'm Soul Creatrix, and I appreciate your time. And I haven't been able to figure out how to put connecting information and stuff in here, but I believe, you can leave messages and comment, and I'd be happy to, give you some time if you need support. So thank you so much. And I guess I still was able to do 12 minutes, and I was worried about 8 today. So I'm sorry it went long, but I get a little, again, I'm learning to talk again, and just trying to put it all into words and unwrap it and unpack it. And at the same time, trying to create my future, so that I can be, the healer's healer, or, whatever it is we are to each other. So I appreciate your time.